buy houses thousands of dollars on it.
All that together.
Live, almost on tape. This is Weekend Live, the Hamptons now. And look, we're covering our bets this weekend. Yes, it's Memorial Day weekend, our first show of the year. Why did they let us come back? I know you're asking that. Third Smash year. And look who's here. We've got the umbrella. We're going to tell you about the weather in just a moment. I'm Bill McCuddy. This is Barbette Smith. And there's
Oh, you're
Patrick
letting me talk.
McLaughlin. There you go.
Everyone.
Why are we wearing
Welcome.
sunglasses?
Well, because it's supposed to be nice this weekend. We want it to be nice. How
It is partly cloudy with a chance of meatballs.
It is. It's very chance.
You know, they were salting. I just saw them. They were salting 27 on my
We're
radar.
going to talk about. That's what brings the deer out. The deer love the salt.
No,
That's
it
how
was
they
to get rid of the ice
where
on
they
the
cross the road.
I almost hit one yesterday.
Speaking of chance of meatballs, we are going to talk about Arthur and Sons. We're also going to talk about all the new restaurants this year. Yes, it's Memorial Day weekend. Do not adjust your television. We don't know why they're doing this again this year either. But thank you, LTV. Thank you, Douglas Elliman. And welcome, Barbette. She's a reality TV star,
Oh, I
but
didn't
she's
know.
never been
Cool.
this real as she will be
I'm
here
sorry. Oh,
in
God,
this
No,
Barbette.
I
hour.
got good editing.
Okay.
No, it was $1 Million Shopper, and everyone had 2 5s. That's
Yeah.
it. You know, so I was like, well, what the hell am I supposed to do with you?
Very cool. Very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
How do
it
we?
was okay.
We've just gone to Bird Dog Mini. I have no idea what that
What
means.
is that?
I have no idea. But we never
It's
stop
exciting.
here. There we
we
go.
go.
We're back. Speaking of your stylist, how do we look? Be nice. Okay,
Oh my
that
God.
Yeah,
says
that's
it all.
it.
That says it all.
No, I say you look great.
Maybe I
Thank
need
you.
a hat.
You're
Who doesn't
very
love
kind.
that?
You're
You
very
look
kind.
great.
Thank
There,
you.
is that
Both
better?
of you. I like the checks. I like the jackets.
And I brought a shirt.
And now you're going to cover up the good look.
Thank you.
Cool.
I love that Bill's discovered the softer side of Sears. But anyway.
Thank you.
Softer side of Sears.
If you've just joined us, why? No, we're
Yeah,
thrilled you're here.
exactly.
We have Mr. Tom Cruise at the end of the show talking
No
about the
way.
elephant in the room, Mission Impossible. We were on the red carpet the other night in New York for the premiere. He spoke to us. You're going to see that. We're also going to go behind the scenes of a movie called Lilo and Stitch.
Isn't it
That's
a
the one for
cartoon?
the kids.
Isn't it a cartoon?
No, it's
Yeah.
been a cartoon.
Yeah.
This time it's live action mixed with a little Lilo or a Stitch that is real and an adorable little girl. We're going to tell you all about that. That's happening this weekend at the movies. We're going to tell you what's at the movies. We're going to go to some tag sales. We have the Real Estate Roundtable again this year. And we're gonna learn, is it a
Lots
good year?
going on
Bad
real
year?
Lots going on in real estate.
Has
so-
everything been rented already?
Well, you'll have to wait and see. You
I
have to
hate
wait
that.
and
That's
see.
a tease.
That is
Also,
it's called a tease.
Roman Roth, the Roman Roth joins us from Wolfer. He's going to talk about the rosé soiree.
Love
It's
Christian.
rosé all day. As I say, if it's rosé all day, maybe it's AA. But no, rosé all day on Saturday, and
Cool.
in a new location this year at the Parish. So
No. It's at 25 Jobs Lane, the old Southampton Arts Center.
well, isn't that the? Oh no, it's not. That's around the corner. Right.
Yeah, you got it wrong.
Yes,
There you
yes.
Fact checking.
go. Yeah.
Why
there
do
you
we
go.
never rehearse? That's what everyone asks
Because we
that
don't know
watches
what the
this
hell
show.
we're doing.
Because no one has
No
time to
idea.
rehearse, nor do the people at LTV want to have us here any more than they
Okay,
need to.
we're going to talk about
agree.
we're going to talk about all the new pop-up restaurants, but the first thing I know you want to know about is what this country needs is a good $5 biscuit. And the new Sagaponic General Store has this baby. It's $5. Have you been to the Sagaponic
Is it $5?
General?
Well, it's cheaper than the $18 donut.
Wait, dude, this is 5 pounds. Touch
It's
it.
not £5.
Do you
But-
want us to eat this after everyone's
Well,
touched it?
we're going to have a little
Yeah.
taste test in a moment. But if you
hope
haven't
everyone
been to the
washed their hands.
Sagaponic,
I totally would.
If you haven't been to the Sagaponic General Store, they spent like billions.
Bazillions.
Avatar was cheaper to make.
Wait, why?
It's the baby of a woman who is, I guess, very well married, but also a philanthropist. She and her family used to go there when they were young, and they took their kids there and bought penny candy. They have penny candy now.
I
It's
love
$5.
penny candy. I love that.
And it's been redone gorgeously, and this is their signature thing.
Do you know for a fact that she married into it?
I know, yeah. What was that?
Yeah, you're right. I was like,
I
well,
don't
what
know.
if she
You know,
had
she-
her
what
own
if the one
dough?
that was
Okay, you're right. I'm sorry.
Dough.
You're right.
Get it?
She may have. Now, come on. Is that no? Don't do that. You know it's good.
It's salty and delicious.
No, it's actually good.
Like you.
Right?
It's very good.
That's what I'm about.
There's a little spice here.
We're also going to talk about Serene Green. It's open. It's my favorite place in Sag Harbor on Brick Kiln Road, or when Brick Kiln turns into
Who cares?
Gillen
You'll
or
just look
whatever.
it up.
Yeah.
Siri knows.
Zach and Nicole, what help me, where is that? That's not Hillstone, what is that?
Noyak Road.
No, it's Noyak Road,
It becomes something else before it's Noyak Road. for a
Stony
while.
Hill, Stony Hill.
Yes, Stony Hill Road.
Thank you.
All right, this is what we call on television a pause. I have no idea.
Not a pregnant bus.
Yeah, do we really care what streets are on?
So, no, not really, but anyway,
Tell
so,
us about the best beach in the country.
well, there's this, on the Hill, which is a website.
This is Hamptons News. Hamptons News Alert.
There's a guy who runs the Laboratory for Coastal Research at Florida International University.
And he's here?
No, he's not, but he ranked the. He
comes out here.
His name is Stephen Leatherman, which sounds like he should be a 2 Mile Hollow, but he's not. But he named the best beaches
idea.
in the country. Number 1 was Cooper's Beach in Southampton.
Yay.
Stop it. I think I read this.
2,
Is that behind
Wailea
us now?
Beach, Maui. I can't say the other one. One in Kauai.
Wait, we beat 2 Hawaiian
What's the name
beaches?
in
Yeah,
Kauai?
I would rather be in Hawaii than East Hampton, no offense, or Southampton. Number 5, Main Beach, East Hampton.
Pretty good.
Kiawah Island, South Carolina. Number 6, Beachwalker Park. Something in Panama City, Florida. Another one in Hawaii on the Big Island, Kudu.
But the important thing
Here,
is
you guys
Cooper's
can read
Beach
it.
is number
And number
no,
10 was
that's-
Coast Guard Beach in Cape Cod. So
Okay, but listen to me.
I can't say the Hawaiian names.
Before we go on, is one of the things about public television is that we have no air conditioning. Is that true? I'm just asking. I'm just wondering.
Well,
Okay.
if
You
they
guys
turn
look
on if they
fine.
turn on the air conditioning, you'll hear it on the microphones, and that's part of the problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're learning so much.
Wow,
and it's
there's
only
a lot that goes into production, people.
not here, but most places.
Okay, I'm fascinated with Panama City, Florida.
You are?
Okay, yes, here's why.
Okay.
It's like spring break. It's
Panama
like,
City
it's
Spring
like-
Break Place.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's...
So what
Oh,
would be
no
nice
offense,
about that?
No offense to anybody there, swear to God.
St. Andrews State Park. It's also a state park.
Yeah.
I just
I
think
don't
the
love
big
that.
news is number 1, Cooper's Beach, Southampton. Congratulations.
Yeah,
we
I
are-
agree.
And number 5, Main Beach, East Hampton.
Yeah, look at us go, 1 in 5.
Yeah, two-
Wow,
All
2
right,
out
we're
of
not-
10.
1 in 5. 1 in 5. Yes.
Hey,
Yeah.
we are getting a new James Bond very shortly. We're going to be talking about movies later on in the hour. One of our guests has been to the Cannes Film Festival. He's just back. He's going to tell us what to look for there. In the meantime, a guy who has spent a lot of time in the Hamptons by the name of Aaron Taylor Johnson, who's been in a lot of movies like Bullet Train, and he was the original Kick-Ass. Let's throw
Very
this
funny
picture
movie.
up behind us. He just signed with Omega, and the reason they think that he's going to be the next James Bond is because Omega is the official watch of the James Bond series.
Oh, that's a
so
giveaway. That's a giveaway.
the Bond producers are all like, "Oh, why did Omega announce this? We don't." So
Did they not know?
It's all leaning towards.
Did the producers of Bond see Craven?
Oh, it's
yeah,
a little bit of an SS
So
right there.
that's an interesting point. Craven
the
was
Hunter.
not a huge hit. There he is. There's Aaron Taylor Johnson
Oh,
right
he's
there.
adorbs.
Yeah, he is, and he's British. He's married to a much older, very talented director. And
A
they
woman
met,
or a guy?
No, a woman, and they met on the set of
Yeah, don't assume.
Lonesome
Yeah,
Boy.
duh.
Yeah. He married into money. No,
Yeah,
I'm kidding. He-
That's number
here,
2.
you're now a Bond girl. Here, let's move you just a little. So lean over towards Patrick.
Barbette,
Oh.
you're a Bond girl. Oh,
Yeah, what? I'm like an old
You got
bitch.
numbers.
All right, this isn't working. Anyway, it's not Barbette, it's that guy. Maybe the next
Behind
James
Barbette.
Bond.
Oh, yeah.
He's
Oh, I see what you're
He's
saying.
a brand ambassador. He played John Lennon. That's where he met
Yeah.
his wife in a movie called Lonely Boy. He was really good in that.
And Craven the Hunter.
We'll ask, yes, Craven the Hunter,
Here.
which my point on Craven the Hunter is, you're fine. We're back,
We're back in Noyak
Hey.
Bay.
Craven didn't become a huge hit, and that's the reason they can hire him for James Bond. If Craven had been like a franchise for the next, like
interesting.
Indiana Jones or something,
Right.
he'd have been taken off the market. But now, because he's not that well known, they can turn him into James Bond. I think that's what's going to happen. My daughter Lily has babysat for their kids. Very exciting.
That
And-
is.
Oh,
That's
very
front
cool.
row seats for
What
us,
else happened?
Bill.
So Cooper's Beach is number 1. Guess
Right.
what? Tom Brady was here this week.
Guess what? My kids went.
It was a zoo.
Okay.
It was
They took,
packed. It
yeah,
was
she
packed.
took a video, and I was like, "Tell the fat pasty girl in front of you to blow her."
Lovely. Yeah,
Sorry.
Tom Brady.
It's the
opener-
Hamptons. No one would expect anything different.
How about this as a thing? There's a card store opening in the Hamptons.
We don't have a shoe repair, but we have a sports memorabilia
Sports
store.
memorabilia card store. Tom Brady came out. Now, let me just tell you what's going on here. People like Tom Brady invest in these things the way Mark Wahlberg has his own tequila, and Clooney had his own, and what they
Well,
do
Clooney
is,
really did own that tequila.
Yes,
Yeah,
but
he did.
Wahlberg
point-
invested in the other one, which Aaron who
they
was on the
show
show
up
last
at
year.
these events
Yes.
just long enough to post some social media content, and
Right.
then they're gone. So Tom Brady came out, I guess it was last night. This is Memorial Day weekend, but we're shooting this on Friday, and they were here last night. Was it
Thursday.
last night?
Last
Yeah.
night.
So
Exactly.
and it was
Just in time for the good weather. Yes.
And did your kids get an autograph or any kind of
No, they got a
one-on-one
video.
time with
A
Tom?
video. She was right there. But I really did mean this pasty kind of girl was big in front of her. So we really, and both Jeffrey and I, my husband, we both commented, could you just tell the girl to scooch down a little bit?
Okay.
But it was a good video. And there he was.
There you go.
Yeah. And he probably lasted for 9 seconds.
Oh,
That
he
does
was-
not
yeah.
sound good.
Yeah.
That does not sound good. I take that back.
Yeah, he did. Maybe we'll use this with some.
Oh,
sometime when we need to
no.
cover up
You're going to
some
hit.
of the
It's all
commentary.
fun and games until someone loses a
Hey,
bet.
this is. Listen, we can't believe
Or
this is.
respect.
We're not sure why this is a show either, but thank you so much for joining us. You're flipping around and stopping. It is
Keep
Memorial
flipping,
Day
keep
weekend.
flipping,
No,
keep
do not
flipping.
keep flipping. It is Memorial Day weekend. We're going to
No,
show you
stay
the
with
weather
us.
now, and then we're going to go have a chat with our number one guest, Mr. Roman Roth, and talk all about one of the biggest things of the year is this weekend, and it's the Rosé Soiree. In the meantime,
I love that.
this is what the weather looks like for
In your
the
neck of the
weekend.
woods, according to Alvaro.
Yeah, in your neck of the woods. Brought to you by Douglas Elliman.
Predicting rain only. They were predicting rain all
It's
week.
not all
That
bad
is
news.
totally different.
It all well,
they changed-
than
they
what you
changed it.
saw.
Well,
Weather
my phone
changes.
is old, so you know.
What, because you have an iPhone 9, like the weather's different?
Our weather is brought to you by the Chamber of Commerce. Thank you
Mine's
for so
not
much.
enough.
It's a-
I always said that I grew up in Jersey, and they used to say, like, every Memorial Day weekend, sparkling weekend, gonna be great. And I was always convinced they paid off all the local stations.
Well, speaking of sparkling, what a great segue. We're going to
Oh,
talk
there
now
you go.
about the Rosé Soiree. Our dear friend who we called at the last moment, he said, of course I'll come over. And he brought hooch. He brought Rosé. Roman Roth from Wolfer, welcome.
Yay, Roman, everyone clap, come on, everyone in the studio audience.
That wine will travel.
That wine will travel.
Yeah, and
uh,
make friends.
Exactly.
First of all, congratulations on the success of Summer in a Bottle and all of the rosés and all of the products over at
No,
Wolfer.
it's been a great ride. In our wildest dreams, we couldn't have imagined how successful the rosé has become at Von Wolfer Estate and all the wines. And now all we have to do is get New Yorkers to be proud of New York wines and embrace them and order them, and that will be it's a great
Is that
it's
still
a great
struggle?
future. It's
Is that still
Really?
People
With
still
Wolfer?
drink Brunello Montalcino instead of the fabulous local red wines, Cap Franc, that we make, for example. And it's fun to drink different wines from the world. How boring would be life if you only had to look at a Rembrandt for the rest of your life.
Right.
But drink your local, embrace your local wine and your local cuisine. And,
love that.
and then you drink a Barolo or a whatever, Bordeaux every now and then.
Rosé sort of had a renaissance in the past few years.
Yeah, the
What do you
15-year
what do you attribute that to?
Real men drink rosé. That's the first statement. But it's
And
just
I'm gonna go
amazing.
rosé.
Yes. Well, rosé is great. It's versatile. You can have it with seafood. You can have it with meat. You can have it at a cocktail party.
You can have it for breakfast.
It really goes well. The alcohol is a little
Cheerios
lower.
and rosé.
Little less alcohol, so it's more, it's not as heavy, so it doesn't overload you with some richness or sweetness. These are dry rosés.
How did you get the summer thing? What was that?
Well, Summer in a Bottle, of course, was the
You guys did that?
was
That
the
was your-
nickname of our estate rosé.
Right.
And then we had an ad, and then I said we should make a Summer in a Bottle. And well, how do we do this? And Joey, everybody got involved, got on board. And there we created the most amazing looking bottle. You judge a book by its cover, but when the quality is excellent, then people come back for
Yeah,
it. And
this
that's
one.
what's
That's
happening
one.
here.
Oh, it is
Yeah, that-
beautiful.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. And the wine is really special. Some of the best vineyards are picked from Long Island to go into this bottle.
I love the
So-
sparkling.
Sparkling is fun. Noblesse oblige is always it's my wife's favorite, so it must
The
be good.
sparkling, yeah,
So-
yeah. See,
I will
chicks have good
my
taste.
toughest
Another
critic.
one, may I compliment you on, is I did dry January. I know it doesn't sound like I really did, but I did. The non-alcoholic sparkling wine is phenomenally
The
good.
spring in
Do
a
you have
bottle is
that
on
here?
fire. Yeah, it's right the second bottle there.
Oh, this?
It's called Spring
It's
in a Bottle.
really
Okay.
terrific.
It's one of them.
I love
First
that.
of all, it's organically grown grapes. Then we use the most modern technology to get the alcohol out, which is not very gentle, only gets heated up to 80 degrees Fahrenheit. It can get hotter in your car if you drive home with it
Yeah.
when you buy a bottle. So it's super gentle, elegant, it's pure wine, no artificial flavors, and it's one of the best on the market.
I
and it's
swear,
really
this is like a
growing category.
thing.
Yeah, this has
Like,
become a category. She's
This
right.
is
This
a
is like
total thing. I
It's-
like it.
It's, well, drink a nice bottle
I mean,
of
I
wine
feel
and
like
then
you
you
could-
switch to a
I
non-alcoholic.
feel like you could drive by a cop and just do this.
Let's do that. Let's do it. I think that's a great idea.
And then
Kids,
like,
if you're watching this at
dude, there's no alcohol.
You know, there's a cop in Sagaponic right by Wolfer. You can go by him. He's always there. Right? Right? Am I there?
Elegant Wolf of
Listen,
Wines,
I
they
think I
get
know where
past.
everyone
I'm
is.
sorry, what?
I'm sorry, Ron.
Elegant Wolf of Wines will get past you. Past the test.
Okay, let's talk about the Rosé Soiree this year. Dan's Paper puts it on every year. It's been a couple of different places, but as you point out, the Cultural Center this year, across from Agawam Park. Who's there, and what do you bring, and what do people get to?
Well, we have a whole soiree right here, but we love Dance Paper. They used to support us when nobody else did 30 years ago. So it's great to support them now with the Rose with coming there and showing up. And there's lots of different people. The music it can get a little noisy. But people love tasting different wines from France, from Long Island, all over the place. So you can really get a breath and a feeling how great the Long Island wines are and how fun the category this is, rosé.
Anyone
Makes
watching
you
this on a
happy.
Saturday before it's happening this weekend can just go. It's yeah.
Sunday.
It's Sunday.
Sunday, it is Sunday.
Sorry. So it's May 25th, and I thought that was Saturday, but anyway, they can just show up and buy a ticket and walk in. It doesn't, or is it?
Ooh, it may be selling out, so I thought you best would be to go online and buy your ticket.
Well, luckily, we're doing this on Friday. It airs Saturday morning, so we can,
Yep.
you can still have
Yeah,
time to
all
buy
Still have
tickets.
weekend
time,
long.
people, unless you're drunk.
Yeah, okay, okay. Thank you. We're live and we prove it every day. So the Rosé Soiree is represented not just by Long Island wines, it's all over the
Wines from
world.
California, I think, certainly from France and Long Island. So what, how better place to come on a Sunday?
Is there some friendly rivalry between the booths about like who likes what better?
Well, there's always a good rivalry brings the best out of you, I always say. So it's great to have other wineries so you can prove, hey, look, taste it, compare it, and you are the judge. That's what's nice. You don't have to listen to a wine writer or something. If you like it, you like it. Then you can go and buy it.
Lots of events at Wolfer, though, this summer as well, correct?
We always have fabulous events, of course, and we do wine dinners, a couple of wine dinners that we do at local restaurants. We really try to get the local restaurants to embrace local
And the
wines.
jazz nights, are you still doing the
We're still
outdoor music?
doing on Friday, the Sunset
Really?
Fridays, and Saturdays, more jazz on the winery, in both places.
And what time does that start, the jazz at the winery?
It's at around 5:30.
Right.
It starts 5:30, and it's wine, food.
By the way, they line
people.
up down 27 to go into this.
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
wine stand has become quite the thing.
Back in the day, Christian we had such fun, didn't we?
Yeah, but it was small then, and it was not, he didn't. I
No,
don't-
you have
You blew
certainly
it up.
taken
You
it to a
guys,
level.
the family
Yeah.
kind of made it a
We
big.
tried, we had the vision, Christian and I, and then once Joey and Mark Wolfer came on board as well,
Yeah,
everybody just pushed in the same direction, and it's like a pivotal moment. You get to a certain size, and all of a sudden it's cool to drink the local rosé. So you have to get to that moment, and that we're still
Yeah.
working on that. That when you go to a restaurant, well, it's cool to order a
Did
local
they get
red
better,
wine.
Roman? Did the wines get better?
We
Or
had-
were they just undiscovered before?
The blonder I get, the better gets the wine. And certainly age, the vines have gone older, so they have more interest in maturing your fruit. We've gotten better for sure. The climate change, every year has been a new record-setting high. 24 was hottest on record.
Really?
23 was the hottest on record. And 24, by the way, was the best vintage in the world. We had 3 months, if you recall, after the first week of August, we had 3 months, not a drop of rain. We didn't even get a remnant of a hurricane. And we made red wines that are what 1945 must have been in Bordeaux. So our great-grandchildren will talk about 24 vintage. Coming up, that's still in barrels, but these are the first, like the rosé is the first glimpse at this fabulous vintage. And then comes the whites and the reds in a year and 2 years, so.
So it's a little, well, I was just gonna say, it's a little cooler this weekend, Memorial Day weekend, than it has been in years past. Do you want it as cool as it can be for as long as it can?
I love if it's a bit cooler up front. A very hot spring never brings much good, I always say. You want to start earlier.
I kind of agree with
If
that.
it's cooler, you have less fungus pressure. It's, yes,
Nowhere
you
to
want
go.
it warm for people and for visitors, but
Right.
for the vines, actually, it's nice to start slow and steady.
And you pick later, if
Then
it's colder?
Well, yeah, then hopefully you have a great summer and then a great fall is the key.
But everything is where it's supposed to be, right? Meaning timing wise.
So far
I
we are
think you have a
good.
longer
Yes.
summer, a longer than, fall is crisp and right on time.
Long Island is the last area in New York State to get a frost in the fall, so if you have nice healthy leaves and canopy,
Right.
you can get photosynthesis and ripeness till the first week in November. I've picked Petit Verdot red wines
Love
last
it.
year. It's like so, and it's not just powerful wines that we make cough syrup red wines. We have this power and this elegance, the sea breeze of the Atlantic. That's the uniqueness of Long Island, and that people realize that now slowly.
Hey, come back all summer. We love having you. We can talk about the events going on all the summer
You just
long.
want more free booze,
Thank you
Bill.
so, yes, you can come every week.
I think
In the
you're lovely
meantime,
and elegant.
one important question before you go, and I've always wanted you to answer this. Do you like Lilo or Stitch better?
Boy.
Just kidding. Hey, look, one of the movies that we're going to talk about this weekend, Eric is joining us a little later on, is Lilo and Stitch. Let's go behind the scenes of that film, and when we come back, we're going to go to the Real Estate Roundtable. Take a look.
Lilo and Stitch is a movie about an alien crash landing on Earth and being accidentally adopted by a 6-year-old girl who thinks that he's a new puppy.
Can you tell me what your name is?
Maya.
Maya Kealoha was such an amazing find for our film. Maya embodies Lilo in a bunch of different ways.
That was good, Maya.
Like, she really was honestly one of the better actors I've ever worked with.
Have you gotten to meet Stitch yet?
Yeah, he's making a lot of trouble in this movie.
What was it like working with Stitch?
Working with Stitch was, really fun. It was good. We had a good time, I think.
I don't think you're supposed to drink that. It was so much fun.
Wow, look at that graphic. Wow, it makes us more pro already. I feel like Lilo and Stitch combined.
Hey, the
all
real
wrapped into
estate
one.
guest stayed.
The real estate guest didn't run out yet, no. Anyway, real estate, Hamptons, we all know it's a topic of conversation at what, literally 90% of all dinner parties? 95?
100.
Well, that's because us, yeah, but like, I don't know, but not everyone. Anyway, joining us here from Ravis Home Mortgage, Sarah, who got married to Florio, yay. Nicole Tunick and Zach Tunick from Douglas Elliman Real Estate. And these guys are the big kahunas of real estate for Douglas Elliman, so it's really awesome to have you guys here.
Thank you.
So what's going on, Sarah? 7%
Yes, so
rate, I'm sorry, mortgage rates just went up to over 7%.
absolutely. When you're talking about the national average, the 30-year fixed is back around 7%, which is not necessarily the news that we were all hoping to head into the summer for. But as Nicole and I were talking about before, it's really, at this point, it's kind of just a fact. And a lot of buyers are moving past that. There also are a lot of opportunities where people are getting much lower rates than the national average. So do keep that in mind as you kind of get scared by headlines.
So are you finding that buyers are getting scared by the higher interest rates, or are they?
You know, it's a yes and no. 50% of our deals are still done in cash, so
Right.
we're a lot less sensitive to, you know, a primary home or a secondary home market.
Right.
We actually just had our first bidding war since COVID.
We did 200,000 over ask,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Sag
Wow.
Harbor.
Oh,
So,
cool.
And, you know, there is some
Congrats.
financing involved in that, and people are still moving forward because people want to be here.
Yeah.
But 7% is not so terrible. My first mortgage was 8.5% and 9%. And we always say, you know, date the rate,
Yeah.
marry the house.
Absolutely.
And if the rate
I've
goes
spent a lot
down,
of time saying that.
and when the rates go
You
down.
can do a refi. This is not, you
Correct,
are
but the
not
house prices will go
married.
up. So right now, you can buy a little cheaper because the rates are a little higher.
Absolutely. When rates come down, there are going to be so many people that move back into the market, especially when you're talking about that like $1 to $2 million price point, that smart buyers are looking at the monthly payment rather than focusing too much on the actual rate. And if the monthly payment works, they're acting because that house might not be available down the road too.
And when you talk about a 7% rate, that's a 30-year fix, or is that a?
That's a 30-year fix. We have adjustables that are touching into the fives. So once again, don't necessarily look at the headline. There's a bigger story out there.
And what about the ORMs?
The adjustable rates, especially if
I
you're
just lost
willing.
my job. Go.
If you're willing to establish a relationship, i.e. move money over to a bank, you can look at rates definitely in the fives. I've even heard anecdotally sometimes into the fours,
Right.
depending on how
We do that.
significant that relationship is, so.
I heard a couple of years ago, people were talking about buying down rates. Are people doing that now?
Yeah, absolutely. We actually see a little bit in new development now too, where sponsors are getting smart and offering buy downs. But basically, this allows your rate to be reduced typically for a 2-year period. The concept being that, of course, rates are going to come down, and at that time, people can refinance into a better long-term mortgage.
Well, one of the topics of conversation out here a lot is rentals. What's going on with rentals that you guys are seeing?
So this year is a little better than last year. Last year was probably like a 20-year low. But at the end of the day, for us in particular, we got all of our clients' homes rented. There was less
Wow.
full season rentals happening, more monthly and bi-weekly. This year, same scenario, we did a lot of rentals early, but we had a downtick when the market kind of took a dive and the tariffs. You know, after now the market is almost back to normal and people are.
Headlines.
Exactly.
April was tough.
And the weather's getting warmer, so now people are really just gonna move forward with their rentals.
That's usually seasonally, once the weather starts to warm up, people
Yeah.
start coming out here more. But you did mention something that I find true. The Memorial Day to Labor Day rentals are not happening like
Not
they
as
used
much.
to.
It's been years that we've really adjusted. We're really a July to Labor Day season. June's iffy. Kids are still in school, weather's weird, look at this weekend. So it's not the mad rush.
Yeah.
I think it's a July through Labor Day season.
July, really, yeah. And what are you seeing with purchases right now? You said you just had a bidding war.
We did.
How's inventory out here now?
It's
Tight.
tight, yeah.
You think it's tight? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I think it's tight on quality.
That's
You
true.
know, I mean, when you get a good house, this house was a great house.
We're also talking
It
of
went.
the norm, not the 10, 20, $30 million homes. There's probably plenty of those on the market. The lower price points go very quickly, even the
True,
mid-price,
yeah.
there's only so much.
Well, I say if the price is if it's not compelling, it's not selling. The price is not compelling, it's not selling. Now, Sarah, what's the forecast now for interest rates?
I think that we're gonna see rates are probably gonna remain pretty range bound through the end of the year. Essentially, we won't see any drastic shifts. The good news is that with all of the turbulence recently, rates have actually remained relatively stable. So that's exactly what we wanna see heading into the summer. And I think that heading into next year, we're still predicting for lower rates. It's just all eyes on the Fed and keeping an eye on everything that goes on with inflation, with the tariffs. We just had the downgrade with Moody's,
Yeah.
the spending bill, 3.8 trillion. There's definitely a lot out there, but that being said, we're definitely busy. I'm excited to report. So I think that there are a lot of people out there and the market should be pretty strong this year.
Well, we do have some open houses we can talk about real quickly. And once again, like, this is the Hamptons, so we're gonna try to show you some of the cooler stuff. Anyway, there is something on this Sunday, from 10 to 12 on 33 Lily Pond Lane. I think we have that, East Hampton. Wow, are we looking at it yet?
We'll talk about it.
I'll talk about it. Well, there's not a whole lot I can talk about it because that's all I have. I thought we were gonna watch the visuals. But Lily Pond Lane is a great location, so there we go.
Address.
There we
Is
go.
it the kind of house Lilo and Stitch would like to live in?
Lilo and Stitch would love this house.
Okay.
So take a look at this. I mean, you're on the ocean, you're on Lily Pond Lane. Martha's not there anymore.
She left.
Yeah, John Bon Jovi's there. Who else is there? David Geffen, and a couple other famous people. David Zasloff, yes. So 7,000 square feet. We're not going to mention the price. We're not allowed to do that. But can you imagine yourself living on the ocean like that? I think it's
More than $1 million.
It's a just Bill. It's either here or you can buy something in Manorville. Anyway.
Or you could buy Manorville.
Or you could buy Manorville for the price of this. The next one we have is tomorrow from 12 to 1:30, 221 Redwood Road in Sag Harbor.
Redwood.
What's up? Yes, we know that house. There we go. 4-bedroom. How do I know so much about this house, and how do you guys know so much about this house?
Might be your listing.
Oh, yeah. There you go. 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath. And Redwood's a hot neighborhood right now in Sag Harbor, isn't it?
Very hot.
Why do you think it is?
Surrounded by water.
Is that what it is?
And yes, of course. And village, but not in the village where a lot of people don't like the hustle and bustle of Main Street or Division Street or Sag Road.
No honking horns and no traffic jams.
It's a cute little peninsula.
Yeah. And then the last one we have is 96 Bluff Road in Amagansett. They're doing an open house Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 1:30. So go on by Bluff Road. Actually, Amagansett's hot as a pistol right now, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's been for 15 years or more, right?
Yeah.
Specific location, specific bio.
Yeah. But even north Amagansett, they're getting some really good numbers north
It's
of the
really pretty back there.
Why do you think Amaganssett's so hot? Is it just the vibe, or?
I think it's like Montauk. It's someone wants that vibe, exactly.
Yeah, someone wants the
To
vibe.
get away from
Beachy,
everybody.
it's really cool, it's a little removed.
Anyway, what's your
Yeah,
favorite
it's
town in the
fabulous,
Hamptons, you guys?
You know we love Sag Harbor.
You do.
Yeah.
And you live in East Hampton, that's a nice thing.
Well,
isn't it?
we just
Kinda.
moved to East Hampton, but we really feel that Sag Harbor's our home, yeah. And Sag Harbor, you can get to Bridge, south or east very quickly. You're in the middle of everything. And it's the only village on the water.
That is true.
With
And it's about
voters.
10 degrees hotter in Sag Harbor, by the way.
Is that
And
right?
10
Yeah, it's
degrees
like about 10
colder in the
degrees.
winter.
Probably true. And they say that Flanders is the new Sag Harbor. No, they don't. Anyway. Anyway, there is weather coming up. Let's take a look at the weather. Sarah, thank you. Nicole, thank you. Zach, thank you. I hope that was fun. Was it fun or was that torture? Saturday, partly sunny, high 61, low 51. Phil, what's going on Sunday?
That's going to be one of the two nicest days. High of 64, low of 51. And on Monday, Barbette, Memorial Day.
Monday is high 66, low 52.
Hey, that was a great
But
real
sunny.
estate roundtable.
Sunny.
I like the encouragement that perhaps it doesn't matter what the rates are, that you lock in something you like and you can always refinance later. We're not here to encourage people to buy things, well, they are, but that's what they do for a living. But
Yeah.
we're just presenting the information, but there is a lot of animosity about what may happen in the economy, and most people are just saying, what the hell, let's just do it.
Did we
Let's
talk
come out
about
here.
Tom
Are they
Brady yet?
saying that?
We did talk about Tom
okay.
Brady, but while we're talking,
so over him.
now, there's
kidding.
another kind of open
Goat.
house that anybody
Goat.
can
Oh my
go
God,
to.
we're on the street.
Yeah, be careful.
Oh, I didn't
Be
know we
careful,
could do
Barbette.
this
I don't
now.
want to
Oh
make it
my
cool.
God!
Your
You
first
don't
time on
remember
the
Billy
job.
on the street?
What?
Here's
Yeah,
Barbara.
yeah,
Billy,
Yeah.
oh, is that guy,
Yeah,
what's his
Billy
name?
Yeah, yeah,
Billy
yeah.
Eichner.
Oh,
He's
he was kind
hilarious.
of annoying, man. Billy
No,
Eichner.
he's hilarious. All right, I
He's
agree.
annoying. He's hilarious. It's kind of like this show.
Yeah.
Tag sales. Let's talk about
Let's go
a
more-
different
I'd
kind
go
of
more
open
on the
house
annoying side.
that anybody can go to. Tell us about the
Oh.
one in Southampton, Barbara.
I loves me a good tag sale.
Okay, so does.
Southampton Sunday, so does Neil Patrick Harris.
Oh yeah, you said you went to one of her.
I went
one
to
of
his.
He had a tag sale?
Yeah.
Oh.
This is years ago, though.
Okay.
Maybe 2 or 3.
Have you been to his? He
And
has
I got
great-
a cup.
Oh yeah, you bought one of Neil Patrick Harris's cups.
Yes, I did, my friend.
That's your
a
Doogie.
sippy cup.
Your Doogie mug.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I
I
love
love
people-
it.
yeah.
I still have it.
What town are we standing in front
We're-
of right now?
What-
Is that
that's East Hampton, I think,
good.
right?
All
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
there's the Prada.
Hi, guys.
That's facing Prada. You see Cinderella
Yeah,
over
Prada.
there. Wait, Cinderella's.
Southampton,
That's
Sunday at
not
9
on my
a.m.
list.
125 Highland
Cinderella.
Road. Men's. Okay, thank you. Men's golf clothes with tags. Teen girl clothing. Now that you know about this, is
Aerie,
Ari,
yeah.
Aerie and Zara and Hollister, are those good?
Zara.
Okay.
Hollister.
Like, ignore the others. Outdoor items include a
Same.
propane fire pit.
And no early birds. They hate those early birds.
Tell us about the one in Amagansett, Patrick.
On 31 Hawks Nest Lane, they have outdoor
that good?
furniture. I think it's good. It's in Amagansett, so it's hot as a pistol. Outdoor furniture, bikes, a piano, a ukulele. Bill, that's for
We're
you.
going.
Bill, you love your ukulele.
Stop
don't you?
right there. Oh, that'll be gone by the time I get there.
Surfboards and bunk beds.
Yeah,
Okay,
there's
see,
a story
I'm out.
there.
I'm out.
Ukulele,
There
bunk
you go.
beds, and a surfboard.
Yeah, I'm out.
That was all in. Well, never mind. And finally, Hampton Bays on Saturday. This is
Awesome stuff. No tariffs.
Right out of 27 East is where we get these tag sales, and this is the person's ad. Go ahead.
Awesome stuff. No tariffs.
There you go.
Come on, that's hilarious. Everything costs too much except all this yard sale. Live house plans. Okay, good.
It's better than dead house plants.
I agree. I wonder what the potting is. Live house plans, baby gear, maternity
How is this a
stuff,
show? How
tools,
is this a show?
Furniture, it's not. Really.
Wedding- what is
wedding
wedding
decor,
decor?
good vibes included.
That's a
people.
quote. Good
What is
vibes
what are
included.
what's wedding? What's wedding?
Wait a
decor?
minute, maternity stuff. Who
Do you want
wants to buy that?
someone's old maternity stuff?
No, I'm not buying it.
We also want to talk about what's happening summer-wise, about the music. Music, of course, at Stephen Talkhouse is this weekend in Amagansett.
Big.
Something called on Monday, actually, Memorial Day. So 3 decades rewind, assuming that's maybe the 60s, 70s, 80s, or 90s.
I was going to say 70s, 80s, 90s.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, Stephen Talkhouse, that's there. Guildhall Saturday night is doing a tribute to Broadway with our buddy from New York One, Frank DeLella. He's hosting it, but the stars are Jason Robert Brown and Betsy Wolfe, both Tony nominated, I'm told, so that's good. And
it's an
And
evening with them. It's
Check
an
for
evening
the
at Guildhall.
security guard. His name is Winslow, my son.
oh, is that
Hi,
true?
Winslow, shout out.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
We'll
he
edit
like
that
a
out. No,
72-year-old.
we don't edit. You
Yeah,
what?
but Canoe Place has some
There's
really.
a 72-year-old.
They have a major lineup this year.
Yeah, Canoe Place is hot. Graham Nash is already sold out.
Amy Mann.
Amy Mann is coming. Grace O'Malley, the comedian, very funny.
Oh, good.
David Cross and Mark Norman sold the place out last year, is back. Also, 2 important benefits happening from a company called Murmur Productions. They're doing most of the Canoe Place stuff, in fact, all of it. But they're bringing Kevin Hart out for The Lighthouse. Remember last year was John Mulaney, the year before, I think Rufus Wainwright, and he brought Amy Schumer to the Clubhouse. Barbette,
Yeah.
have you ever been to the Clubhouse? You ever stepped foot in the
We love the Clubhouse.
I think I've been.
Okay, fine.
Do you bowl? I imagine you're a big bowler, aren't you, Barbette?
She bowled
You
like
love bowling.
Do
crazy.
not laugh.
In that dress.
I can
She-
hit. I can hit it, but I can hit.
I know you
can
love
hit.
your
I
bowling.
can throw a ball.
Kevin Hart on July 12th and Nora Jones on August 2nd.
I find
So-
him funny, Kevin
I
Hart.
love comedians. By the
Okay.
way-
All I have to do is look at him. He's a Will Ferrell to me. He's got that stupid grin that I love.
So you want to hear a funny story how I know Bill McCuddy? I met Bill McCuddy back in the mid-80s, 85, 86?
Possibly.
Just born.
Did you, a friend of mine who's a stand-up comic who has a bunch of specials on Netflix, Todd Glass.
Very funny. Does the definitive Don Rickles. Just
Did you,
Google
I forget if you
Don
opened for
Rickles.
Todd or Todd opened for Bill.
No, I opened for him.
And Todd and I were talking this week, and he said, "Oh yeah, tell McCuddy, he sold me a joke, and apparently he stole it from someone else."
No,
he said it's a
not
comedy
true.
show. Yeah, he
That's
said
not true.
because he was doing his act.
Maybe I sold it to 2 people.
Maybe that's it. He said, "Make sure tell McCuddy he sold me a bum joke."
I'll send you your
That's called
$5
a double
back. Tom.
dip, my friend.
Yeah, okay, great summer of music happening starting this weekend at Stephen Talkhouse.
Right.
We mentioned the movies. Let's tell you what's playing everywhere. At Sag Harbor, the big giant Megillah is Mission Impossible, the final half of the one from last year. Oh, look, we got our own
It's
little
not.
graphic
Oh
there.
wow, cool. Oh.
But it's not playing in IMAX. You have to go to Southampton for
times.
that. Sinners is also there. Something called Friendship, which with Paul
We are
Rudd
not
is
in a
being
movie.
compared to that bromance movie, I Love You Man, or it's very similar to that. Have not seen it. And then the morning movie they're doing at Sag Harbor is Jungle Book, the 1967
I want to walk like
version.
you, talk like you.
Stop it.
That was the first movie I ever saw as a kid.
If you're just joining us, Tom Cruise joins us at the end of the show from the red carpet of Mission Impossible just a few nights ago in New York. Also, Eric Cohn is here from the fantastic new Southampton Playhouse.
I have not been. I heard it's awful.
Yeah,
I've been like
really
a dozen times. It's
too
fantastic.
far.
They had it's too far. They'll
sorry.
drive you there, Barbette. They have IMAX, as I mentioned. Also, when they opened in May, they ran the Oscars there.
Oh,
They
cool.
They did a Gary Cooper festival where I got to hold Gary Cooper's
Okay, that's
Oscar.
cool.
Oh, I saw
That
that,
is
on your
super
social
cool.
media.
Yeah,
His
that was
daughter
great.
was there, right?
Eric saw that, and then he took a picture with it and put that out. So that's exciting.
I keep
Also,
eyeing this scone. Actually, it wasn't
Eric,
bad. I'm actually
they're
No,
fantastic.
it's really
$5
delicious.
scone, Sagaponic.
5 pounds too.
Eric was just in Cannes. He's going to tell us all about the movies that he enjoyed at the Cannes Film Festival. And as we said, Lilo Stitch with Jenny Ortega is the big one after Mission Impossible this weekend. And that's what's playing at movie theaters near you. Let's see that red
I'm
curtain again. I
lopsided.
just love that. If it just came down and
Yeah.
played, and then I like the way it opens.
Oh,
And-
nice.
Nice, yeah.
Movie time.
Wow. We spend, baby. We spend.
Actually, that biscuit's not bad.
It's a great
We are
biscuit.
still talking about the damn
It's
biscuit.
They
sweet,
also
it's
do,
savory, it's
they
everything.
do their sort of thing they're known for in 2 weeks that they've been open is they do a breakfast sandwich with that.
Oh, I'm sure
I
that's a
was
local
just
thing.
gonna say,
And
do you
unbelievable.
put butter on
Cheese,
that
eggs, butter,
and,
sausage.
and jelly?
All right, before we bring Eric on,
Just
how much
butter
more
and
time
jelly.
do we have in this show? About an hour? Okay, good. 50, perfect.
Oh, it just feels like
tell
another
us, tell
hour
us
to go.
where.
Are you kidding
Who are
me?
you wearing today, as they say on the red carpet?
Oh my God! Listen to this.
Oh, boy.
This is my new, my new favorite
Smoke 'em
place.
if you got 'em. This is gonna
It's-
take a while. I
It's
can-
called Le Closet, and it's a curated, what do they call it? A curated consignment shop. Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, is this the one in
little-
Bridgehampton?
No, Southampton, Windmill Lane.
So
Okay.
this belonged to somebody before you?
Yes.
Wow.
I love it even more because I must love this woman if I love this dress.
Who is that?
I don't know.
Oh, really? Oh, hold on.
There you go.
This
But
is,
I paired it over an
someone
old
named
Calypso.
China. No, 98%. This looks like cotton and it's polyester.
Shut up,
It
Bill.
is. They're,
Okay,
it looks
okay.
great. It's like a doily thing for those of you who can't see.
Exactly, but it's really long, and I put.
I simply saw it on the table and I had to have it.
It was hanging. Do you know something? It's like dating. You go in and you're like, that's
And
for
was
me.
that reasonable?
Yeah, yeah. What? I'm not telling. A woman never tells.
Okay, but
But it could
reasonable.
look very expensive.
So that's your hack. That's your Hamptons hack about where to go to find great stuff.
Yeah, I'm great at hacks.
What about the ladies' place in East Hampton?
Oh, the
That's that giant
LVIS, they're
hack?
doing a
it's the
sale this
best.
weekend.
But let me tell you something. It's all about the men there.
Oh,
That men's section. If you could go in and find Pumas like your size, like a 7 for me.
Right.
Amazing
Puma
color.
sneakers?
like
Yeah.
sneakers?
Yes.
Oh, a friend of-
People, and they have double-breasted, beautiful blazers,
That's
shirts.
coming back.
Someone I know got a Prada tuxedo.
I kid you
at
not.
The LVIS in East Hampton.
I kid you not.
Prada tuxedo.
Yeah, it's delish.
Yeah, unbelievable.
I also like obligato.
Obligato or obligato, whatever, yeah.
Obligato?
You say obligado, I say obligato. Obladi, oblada.
This is where we call the
Life
whole thing
goes
off. Yeah,
on.
Hey, a lot of exciting restaurants opening. You already talked about them on hamptonschatter.com or .org or
.net, yeah, not org.
But tell us what's happening because there's a
So
whole
here's
list of
the
amazing stuff.
newest one. Moby's is swimming into Sag Harbor at the site of the old Dopo.
So they're not at
Really?
East
6
Hampton?
Bay Street.
They closed.
No,
the big
they're
thing in
going to
East
keep.
Hampton?
From what I gathered, they're
No,
going to keep
two.
the one in East Hampton.
It's
So they're gonna
very
have two.
exciting there.
Oh, look, there's more graphics here.
my
Restaurant
God.
Roundup.
Hungry
for
for
Hamptons.
Hamptons.
By the way, follow them. They're on Instagram. They have everything opening this summer, and amongst them, this what you just talked about. Also, our buddy Chef
Yeah,
Joe
is coming today.
is coming next week.
Oh,
but they're
next
doing
week.
smash
Wow.
burgers at the
Rearrange your
bar and
schedule.
in behind. And you know their slogan, chicken parm pays the bills. And there I am last night.
Stop it.
Again with the and look, Barbette joined us apparently.
Yeah.
There, There we are.
what a
That's
nice
Joe,
picture.
great guy, and he's
Tale as
killing it
old
over
as
there.
time.
And here's the smash burger. I'll show you. It's really, really good. I'm not just saying.
Can we put Bill up
Here.
again full
Yeah,
time?
yeah, yeah.
Full-
Just Bill.
There we go.
There he is.
Bill and Joe again.
There he
There's
is,
the
a
smash burger.
smash burger.
Can we put Bill up and Joe again?
Okay, yeah.
Barely even friends,
Okay,
then
okay.
somebody mends. Beauty and the Beast.
Okay, thank you.
Do we have to pay for that?
I think no, that's Lilo and Stitch. Isn't it? Boy, I will not let that.
All right, so another restaurant
no,
coming
it
to town.
sucks
Yeah, here
so
we go,
bad.
more
We cannot
restaurants.
be charged.
Lucky Steakhouse, which is it's in Soho, Montecito, and I think in Malibu. They are taking over the site of the old Cove Hollow Tavern, which I'm going to be
In
sad
East?
in East Hampton. I'm sad to see Cove Hollow go because they have the best French fries on the planet.
Hollow.
Come on.
The best French fries. The best French fries.
Arthur and Sons were pretty good.
So
Really? Better
you only have a
Is
couple.
this the steakhouse that has the giant tomahawks that they cook on the open grill in Montauk?
No. It's not out here yet. This is Lucky Steakhouse.
Okay.
The one you're thinking of in
Montauk.
Montauk, I think, is the one Mary Lou's on Westlake Drive.
Yeah, Mary Lou's. I saw a picture of that place. We don't have it, but
This is like
but it's
Swahili to me.
It's so great. Well, where do you go out when you go?
I
to eat?
don't.
Oh, okay. Well,
I
these are
don't.
good suggestions.
And then Crazy Pizza's coming to town.
Crazy?
town?
Crazy Pizza.
Which town?
East Hampton, the site of the old Kizzy Teas.
Okay.
Swifties at the Hedges Inn, because nothing says Montauk like the name of a Hollywood agent.
Lazard.
Swifty Lazard, like whatever.
Hedges
Who
Inn,
never
as you-
probably has ever
Listen,
even
I
been to
love
the Hamptons.
Swifties and swells.
Have you been to the Swifties in Palm Beach?
Yes.
I wish I could act surprised. Patrick likes to call the Hedges Inn the best drive-in restaurant because everybody keeps driving into that place.
Oh, they do. They do. There's been like 10 cars that pull up.
Swifties is going to do really well there.
Anyway.
I think. Also, the
I do
Maidstone, all of our favorite spots. Some are back, some are new. Check them all out. We'll have the chefs on this show as the weeks progress. If you're just joining us, this is Weekend Live, the Hamptons Now, back for its third
What's with
season.
the
This
flag?
is
That's
Memorial
cool.
Day weekend.
That's
Look
cool.
at us. We're so patriotic.
Here, everybody. Okay, good. We froze on
I'm
that for
doing
some
it.
reason.
Yeah,
I have no
yeah.
idea.
Oh, I froze. I look
You
still.
were the only one. I get
My
to
hair.
do
I
it
didn't realize
too.
how short my hair was. I look
I
like
get
I
to
look
do
like a
it too.
giant.
Still to come, those summer movies. Eric Cohn from, well, he's actually the artistic director at the new Southampton Playhouse. If you have not been, it is amazing. No, that's not Eric. That was Joe Isidore. And we were able, on the red carpet, to catch up with Mr. Tom Cruise. I wasn't able to.
Tom Cruise or Tom Cruise?
Tom Cruise. A buddy of mine, George Whipple, asked a few questions, and here he is talking. Yes, here he is on our show, Weekend Live, Mr. Tom Cruise. Take a look.
Why is the final reckoning the culmination of the theatrical experience?
Because it has everything. I mean, you look at the scope, the scale, the emotion. It is a movie. You know, I make movies for the big screen, for audiences. I don't want people to watch the film. I want them to experience it and participate in cinema. And that's why, look, I love going to movie theaters. I love the popcorn. I love seeing a big screen experience with strangers, but we're all unified in this experience of watching a movie. The sound, the scale of the movie, it is an epic film, and they're going to see stuff that they've never seen before. Look, I'm excited. Anything that's going to promote cinema. That's the Academy is something that should be there to promote cinema and allow people to understand, what we are and what we do, and I like the wide range of films and anything. I have a wide range of taste in movies and so many filmmakers that I admire, and I like to see everybody get recognized. We are not revealing what's in this film. Whatever you see in TV clips, trailers, I'm not showing anything. We're going, you have to see this film and experience it. We are not going to let it. You're going to have to see it. So when people sit down, they're going to be like, we did not give anything away.
He is an unending cheerleader for getting people back into movie theaters, and we have somebody who shares that enthusiasm. He is Eric Cohn. Say hello to him. He's the artistic director at the newly opened Southampton Playhouse. Yes.
We are open for business.
You
We've been
are.
open
Love
since
it.
February, but now we're really
Yeah,
getting
I said
into
May,
it.
but May
Yeah.
was when you did a couple of special events.
Yeah.
But, including celebrating 1932, which
That's
is
right.
the year that opened. So you curated some really cool movies.
Yeah, we did The Spirit of 1932. It was all this pre-code Hollywood stuff, great rom-coms. We had the original Scarface. We had Grand Hotel with Garbo saying she wanted to be alone, that famous line.
Oh my
So, and we'll bring
gosh.
it back, by the way. I mean, there's so much from that era that we'll be celebrating in the theater, along with our IMAX screen, of
I
course.
think that
so.
was the last time I went to the movies.
Was
Grease.
1932?
Oh,
Grease.
Those
I think I
movies are
saw
still
Grease.
good. So.
Was Gary Cooper in the theater? Because Gary Cooper is a fan of that playhouse, went there
Yeah.
with his family, and his daughter was there the other day, as I mentioned earlier in the show, with his Oscar from High Noon.
That's right. We inaugurated
cool.
the first Gary Cooper Film Festival this year, and we're gonna bring it back every year. The same. He died, and he was born and he died the same week. So that early part of May is what we're doing as our sort of throwdown. This is when we celebrate the legacy of Gary Cooper. We made a map so you could journey around Southampton, see all the places he used to hang out in, Catinas, places like that. And he's actually
Do a
buried nearby.
scavenger hunt.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. So we're gonna get more and more ambitious as we go along. But having Maria Cooper Janitz there was great because she remembered going there with her dad as a little kid.
Oh, I
We had
love
someone who actually worked there as a teenager who remembered tearing the
The
tickets.
stubs.
Yeah, and he said that Gary Cooper told him, "This is the most important job that you have here." So
Well, that's a cool
he gave him some early confidence.
So you're doing first run
Is
movies
he
and
still there?
Exactly.
and revivals and revivals.
Yeah, exactly. First run and repertory special events. We have a flex space. It's 150 seats, and the seats come out, so you can expect live performances, stand-up comedy, parties, all that good stuff. So we're trying to be more than a movie theater.
Filmmakers
Well, it
can
sounds like-
actually do a soundtrack there too. You're
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about getting some people in that. And
Oh,
we have
look
some,
at this. Look
we
at
have
that.
some
That's
composers
cool.
out here. Oh
Yep,
yeah.
that's the theater in the 1930s. It looks basically the same aside from the cars. So it's landmarked.
And on some
Uh,
weekends, some of those cars
Yeah.
show up.
Well, we'd like to. I mean, we are going to do a car show at one point in our parking lot, which has about 120 spots. It's a big win for us. When F1 comes out with Brad Pitt. So that's going to be a big thing. We're going to do a whole Fast Cars repertory series, classic Fast Car
I'm in.
movies. Yeah, exactly. I knew
Totally
we'd
down.
Here's
Who
what I think
directed
is
F1?
Here's what I think is
No
cool.
more.
Yeah, we're going to move past
What I think
Grease,
is
I
cool about
love it.
F1 is that, yes, it's an Apple film, and yes, it'll show up eventually on Apple, but it was shot in IMAX for IMAX, the way Mission Impossible, which we'll talk about in a second. So I'm dying to see F1.
Who
I've
directed it,
seen-
Bill?
Is it a Rennie Harlan? No, Rennie
Joe
Harlan.
Kaczynski, who did Top Gun Maverick.
Who did Maverick? That's right.
And this
Ron.
looks like Maverick
Yeah.
on a racetrack. I mean,
Exactly.
it's
I
And-
love F1.
Honestly, I have so much respect for what an IMAX does for these movies. I mean, having seen everything, we had Sinners there earlier this year. You know, even now with Mission Impossible. I mean, it's like everyone's talking about this movie regardless, but to see it in IMAX is a different movie.
Because you feel like you're falling off the cliff.
Yes, absolutely.
With him.
Floor to ceiling.
Wouldn't
Cliff,
that be fun?
undersea.
Tom.
If you're gonna fall, you may as well fall with Tom Cruise.
Yeah,
right?
yes, that's what
Yep,
I'm thinking.
yep.
Well, it's an immersive experience going to the theater, and I don't think sitting in front of a television is the same thing.
Absolutely.
It's the group experience as well.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have learned
I
that you
agree.
have too many options, right? You have too many options at home. It's overwhelming. You throw up a screen and you don't know when to press play because you keep scrolling down. You're like, that looks good, but the next thing looks
I
better.
know,
And
you
just
get
do that
greedy.
forever.
You
know
have
what I mean?
professionals to do that.
Yeah,
They know
that's
when to
me.
push play. And so people are showing up and actually having the community experience. I mentioned the Oscars earlier, but these guys are right. It's all about a big screen and being in an immersive place. That's what Cruise is talking about. But what I think is interesting about this film, for the first time, I think, it said filmed for IMAX, meaning it's specifically how he wants people to see it. And are there points at which, because I did not see it in IMAX, I saw it in a screening room in the city. Are there points at which the aspect ratio changes to accommodate
You will
the
see it
different-
shift in a crucial underwater scene in the movie, which is
He
by
does all
far
his
the-
own,
Oh,
correct?
absolutely.
Yeah.
He does
This
all
is
his
a-
own stunts.
I mean, this is Evil Knievel crap.
Yeah, at the next level, right? I
Yeah.
mean, look, he's been doing this himself for 30 years. I think Tom Cruise is in a category of himself when it comes
Yeah,
to
I
stunts.
agree.
I don't know how they deal with the insurance and all of that, but it's quite something. The
But you
underwater
can see
stuff.
him walking
Yeah.
like the build up to his jump, the motorcycle jump, you know, and he walked that ramp up and down.
Yeah, and
I
there's a
really
great
think it was
lineage
meant
for
for
this stuff.
skateboarding.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the
That
thing
was
is,
That was the last one, and
Yeah.
what I loved about the behind the scenes of that, which they showed a million times, was he nailed it on the first one, and they did 7 more.
Yeah.
He said, I want to go again, I want to go
Probably
again,
pretty
I want
fun.
to go
You
again.
know, once he realized that he could maybe pull it off without dying, but the fact that he didn't die
Yeah,
7
but,
times,
yeah.
I mean,
I mean, that's a little greedy. You just do once,
Now, what
right?
number Mission Impossible is this?
This is number 8
number
technically, right?
8.
Oh,
yeah.
oh, look at me.
Exactly.
7 if you count this and the last one as
As one,
but
but
it's
no,
2.
we're not.
I don't think you should, because this one will bring you up to speed at the very beginning.
I was just gonna-
So you'll
There's a
be fine.
recap
There's a
Not
total
only is it a
that we missed
recap
2 to
of-
5.
Yeah, don't
Sorry.
worry about it. You'll
It's a
get it.
recap of all of them. It
Yep.
does this really
Yeah.
nice montage of all the other 7 before
So you're
it.
caught up.
And brings you completely up to date. It tends to do that over and over and over again in the first 45 minutes, in my opinion. What do you think? Did you like it a lot?
I thought it was a lot of fun, primarily because that build-up, you spend a lot of time wondering, what kind of movie am I watching? It seems like there's all these stakes and we're not sure how they're going to be paid off, and then there is real payoff in 2 big stunts. And the underwater one is the one I really want to talk about. There's an underwater one and there's one where he's holding onto the side of the plane. That one delivers too. But the
How
underwater
much
one
time
is
into
wild.
the movie does this go? Does this happen?
It's pretty far. It's sort of like at the end of the first act, let's say. But when it happens, what's so shocking about it is that it keeps going. I mean, he's not to spoil too much, but he has to be underwater for a certain amount of time. And if he's underwater too long, he can't breathe anymore.
They did this
right?
in another Mission
So-
Impossible, didn't they?
He's
Before this?
done underwater stunts before, but
I
this
remember he
one,
was in a turbine or something.
yeah,
and was
yeah, no,
underwater.
he has. But this one it's
Crazy.
long and there's no sound, there's no dialogue, right?
Right.
So it's really interesting. I mean, I know you want to ask me about the Cannes Film Festival, right? I went to a restoration of an old Charlie Chaplin movie, The Gold Rush, there, and there's a scene in that movie where he almost knocks a whole house off a cliff. And I was thinking about that's like this great slapstick. You don't need any dialogue. It's just funny, but it's also really dangerous. And I found this scene to be that kind of thing, where it's like it's kind of ridiculous.
Was it
and
funny?
It kind of is funny because you're so on the edge and it's so ludicrous. I mean, you're watching something that again I don't want to spoil it. You got to see it.
Yeah,
You're watching
yeah.
something that's
We
hard
will.
to imagine happening, but you feel the danger of it at the same time. That's a great movie.
Before you go talk
Funny
about Cannes,
and yeah, exciting.
exactly.
before you
That
talk
movie.
about Cannes, I want to ask you the restoration of the Southampton Playhouse.
Yeah.
That was a couple years going, and basically everything is new on the inside.
Yeah, so it closed in 2020. It was a complete renovation. So you'll see the exterior of the theater does look as it did 93 years ago, but once you step inside, completely new experience. You've got the lounge and the bookstore off to the side, so you can always hang out there and have a drink. But you have 4 screens at the other end of the hallway. One, as we spoke about, is the IMAX. We have a second.
The only
theater.
IMAX in the Hamptons.
Only IMAX for 50 miles.
And that was a process. We have about a minute left, and I want to talk about
Yeah.
Cannes, but like you had
Yeah.
to go through a whole set of hoops to get, almost like a Mission Impossible movie,
Yeah, but
to
they've
get IMAX
been a
approval.
great partner for us, and
great.
the fact that it exists in an independent theater that can do all of these other things at the same time is a big part of what I think makes us, unique. I mean, we're a nonprofit. We're going to do educational workshops. We're going to show things on 35 millimeter film, and we can do all that stuff
Cool.
and be state of the art at the same time.
Who's
We
the
have how long
driving
till,
force?
oh, sorry.
You, I'm sorry.
How long till end of show? We have about a minute, perfect, go ahead.
Jump
Who's
in.
the driving force behind all the creativity? Is it
Well, I'm
you?
the artistic director, so I oversee all the programs and
you.
special events, and then Maria Botsakos is our executive director, so she's really focused on fundraising, community building, and all
Yeah.
of that. So, and I've known her for years. She comes from film at Lincoln Center. I was a
cool.
film critic and a journalist for a number of years, so together we're trying to really
You are doing
bring
a
something.
full rainbow.
Yeah, and we're just
listen,
getting started.
I love
Eric,
it.
so glad you're here. We have about 30 seconds left. Thanks for joining us this weekend. What was the one thing you saw at Cannes that you know will be a hit that we'll be talking about in a few months?
Spike Lee, Denzel Washington together again on their 5th movie, Highest to Lowest. Great New York film, remake of a Kurosawa movie, High to
wow.
Low. And it's just staggeringly great. I love it.
Hey, you are
Okay.
welcome here anytime. Will you please come back?
You got
Despite
it.
the
come back.
helter-skelter kind of aspect to it, we enjoy it every week.
Thanks, guys.
Listen, that's Weekend Live. We'll see you next weekend. Have a lovely
everybody.
Memorial Day, and that's our show.